All right, good afternoon, everybody. May the 4th be with you. I am back talking all about habits, and today is about 3 strategies on how to create some good habits. And there is a science to it, and there are some easy to implement strategies that so many of us don't really think about when we go to create a new habit, right? At the end of a year, the new year starts over. We've got all these New Year's resolutions. We've got all these habits that we want to put in place. And then we implement for a week and then we stop doing them. And there are some fundamental reasons. And typically it's because the strategies we're using aren't setting us up for success. And that's so important, right? You've got a plan to set yourself up for success. And the first thing I want to call out, and I had mentioned this the other day, is habits take anywhere from 21 to 67 days to really be created. There's been brain scans done, and they have shown anywhere from 21 to 67 days. And whoever said that 21 days to make a habit was blowing smoke, because it's just not the case. That's like the bare minimum. And I would say that is the most vital time to kind of push forward, because at 21 days, that old habit is going to fight like heck to keep you safe and certain. And that's why when you see the gym, local gyms, YMCA, LA Fitness, whatever it might be, 3 weeks into January, the parking lot is back to normal. It's because everybody thinks they've made it at that point, but they really haven't. So anywhere from 21 to 67 days for a habit to really be created. And that's just a baseline to kind of draw from. But how do you start a good habit, right? What are some strategies to create a good habit? The number one strategy is start small, right? Start small. If you want to meditate, let's say, for example, I love to meditate. I've done it now 860 some days straight. You got to start small. And I would say starting small means not saying I'm going to meditate for an hour each day for a full year. Well, that might be where you want to get to. But if you tell yourself that, the mind is going to throw up all these barriers. And it's going to say, how the heck are you going to do it? And you need to make it simple and easy. That's why I say start small. If you want to take up a meditation practice, and I highly recommend it, meditate for 2 minutes a day to start out, maybe for a week or 2 weeks. Then add on a week, add on a minute the next week, right? Week 3, maybe it's 3 minutes, and continue to build. But if you start small, you're going to be much more likely to continue as you go down the road. It's just like working out, right? New Year's resolution, hey, I'm going to work out for 60 minutes every day for a full year. Well, those first 2 weeks you work out for 60 minutes, you are so freaking sore. The mind associates working out with pain. And that's why so many people give up. How about just going for a walk 2 or 5 minutes a day for those first 2 weeks, just getting active? You're going to start to see that progress. You're going to get that forward momentum. So really try and start small whenever you're thinking about creating a new habit. So that's strategy number 1. Strategy number 2, and this is very effective, make it public. Tell people about it. Right? On Friday last week, I made it public that I was going to go live 12:30 every day, right? Share some knowledge, share some strategies, share some things that I've learned. Well, this is my 4th day in a row. You make it public, then even though other people might not be holding you accountable, you feel responsible to actually follow through on what you said. We're so easy in letting ourselves off the hook, right? If you keep it to yourself, yes, I'm going to go live in May every day for 31 days. We let ourselves off the hook too often. But even if you put it out, nobody holds you accountable, you don't want to sound like a liar. So if you make it public, it's that much more powerful. So number 1 was start small. Number 2 was make it public. And then number 3 is stack new habits to an existing habit. So there's a great book, and Andy Short had mentioned this, a great one, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And in the book, he mentions this concept of habit stacking. And basically, what it means is if you want to create a new habit, why don't you pair it with a habit you already have? And I had a friend who had a pregnant wife, and he thought meditation might help her a little bit. She was getting a little frazzled. It was towards the end of her second pregnancy. And he said, I think meditation would be great for her. And I said, okay, how are we going to put this into her daily routine? And my thought process, and I took kind of the concept that James Clear wrote about in Atomic Habits, stack it with an existing habit that she enjoys. So I said, does she enjoy drinking coffee? He says, yes, obviously it's decaffeinated since she's pregnant, but she enjoys drinking coffee. I said, well, a strategy to implement meditation would be if the coffee takes 2 minutes to 5 minutes to brew, whatever it is, have her put in the coffee and then have her go meditate during the coffee brewing process. And then once she's done meditating, she gets that cup of coffee that she enjoys. So she's actually kind of tied that new habit that she wants to form with an existing habit. So it's just another strategy to leverage and use to implement, to really implement good habits. And there is kind of a science behind it. There is some tips, there is some strategies. So try and use these three, right? Start small when implementing a habit, make it public, and then try and stack it to an existing habit you already have. And if you use those three things, I guarantee you're going to be that much more successful when you try and implement good habits. And like I said a couple days ago, 95% of what we do is on autopilot, meaning we don't even think about it, meaning it's our habits and rituals. You want the key to success, you've got to change your habits. So I hope you got value from it. Like it up, share it with anybody that you might see benefit from it. I'll be back tomorrow at 12:30, and I will talk about how to break bad habits tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon.